This is my Digipack and magazine advert pitch ideas. So first I had to choose an artist, and I wanted someone relatively well known and current in the charts. I wanted someone that also had an adaptive image so I could change my ideas through my music promotion pieces. I first had Melanie Unger, but from my market research, no one actually knew who she was, and I wanted someone relatively well known in the country pop genre. And then Honey I'm Good came into the charts, so I rolled with that song, and I chose Andy Grammer. Then I had to understand my target market, so I wanted them aged between 15 and 25. They're generally happier and brighter, they have their whole lives ahead of them, so they have no cares. So this is my mood board that relates to it. The song is also aimed at this kind of age and this kind of demographic, so I wanted to keep it consistent and give the overall look and feel of the song as well as the Digipack. These were my original ideas. I did do a little mock-up here, but it was terrible. I wanted something subtle, so I wanted the colours and the fonts to be quite literally subtle. So I didn't want them to stand out too much, but I wanted the colour to come through more. I wanted to represent the artist, so I wanted something that was relevant to their life, like they're a significant life event. I also wanted to represent the genre, so that audiences would know what kind of music they're buying when they bought the album. I also wanted something personal, so I had the idea of having a font that kind of looked like a signature, so it looked like Andy signed it himself. That would be quite nice. And then a little message from him inside. Then I did my focus group. From what I found out, they wanted something punchy because they were quite fond of Lady Gaga Digipack for one of her albums. And it was quite dark, but it was quite vibrant, like the contrast between colours. So that was quite nice. They also wanted a lot of close-ups and something obvious, so they didn't have to actually analyse each aspect of it, because they said they don't really do that. There are a few comments of what they've said about my ideas and how I could change them. So based on that, I then went forward to try and keep everyone happy. That's why I changed my ideas. I wanted to incorporate my focus group responses because they're generally my target audience, and if they don't like it, then who will? I also wanted to show that I've developed my ideas as if I stuck with my original ideas, then it wouldn't show much of a journey, and it wouldn't show how any of my ideas have developed. Then I wanted to highlight that my editing skills have come along. So I changed my ideas to make it a bit more difficult to edit. Not difficult, but a bit more challenging. This is just generally how I changed the cover of my Digipack. So I changed the face angle as this kind of like this would have been directly in front of them. So I wanted something a bit more subtle. And in this one, the pictures behind them are going the opposite direction. So I wanted to show there was one direction to show that his music is in one direction. I also changed the font colours because my target market had said that these are a little bit too childish. So I wanted something more subtle, and I did go ahead with the signature font looking thing. This was a mock-up of my initial ideas. So like I said, they didn't like the fonts, and they didn't really like this whole guitar thing up here. So I wanted to include the guitar in a more subtle way to show that it was actually a country Digipack. They also didn't really like these fireworks because they didn't really see any relevance in it. And then they wanted a bit more of a background. So to combat this, instead of adding a background, I made the pictures bigger and a bit more vibrant so it filled the space more. To incorporate the guitar more subtly, I've got this nice angle which is quite intriguing, and then Andy will be playing it so it looks like he is actually with his music kind of thing. And then the acoustic guitar will be on the CD as well. I thought this was a nice idea. And it does incorporate it in not a in your face kind of way. So this is the front. Right, no, this is the outside. So this is the inside flap where it's got his social media. So people can go and look him up on all these social medias. And then, yeah, that's the cover. And then this is where the song titles will be. So it's got the record label there. And the song titles will be on his back. So again, he is his music. So it's him rather than someone else. And then I've got these bits here. They do look quite patriotic. I did want to show that he was an American artist as well. So yeah, that's why I included that. And then my magazine design, it's got the record label and the iTunes bit and a couple of songs that it includes. And then this whole thing here, it kind of relates to pop art, and that's quite modern, and I wanted to include something modern in it to show that he is modern, he is up and coming, and he constantly changes. Thank you. Please refer to your handouts.
One question I have is, you mentioned that you were looking for items that represent your artist and your genre.
Yes.
What represents your artist and your genre?
Well, this whole thing, he was quite involved in design when he was younger, and he did used to do things like this, like cloning pictures to make them look a bit more interesting, and then he would change colours and positioning and stuff. So I wanted to show that that's kind of what he did and that's where he came from. And the motion does kind of show that he has come from somewhere. He's not just there, kind of thing. And then the genre, I've got generally the colours for pop, and then the guitar for more of a country feel.
Do you think people will look at the red, blue and black and automatically think America?
See, that's where I was kind of, yeah.
Is it possible to incorporate maybe the stars or an overlay of a flag? Or
That's a very good point.
do we have any other questions? Thank you very much.
You're welcome.